Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have this 2022 Toyota Rav4 and we're going to do the side door chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the chrome panels, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material, that way it matches the two-tone color of the vehicle. If you like the product, link for the product will be in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the side panels. So to prep them, you could wash the vehicle beforehand, and just make sure if you do take it to a car wash that the vehicle is completely dry, especially on the panel section where we're doing the installation, because if it's not completely dry, then the water will catch the adhesive side of the film, and even if you apply heat on the film, it's not going to tack down. So you need the panel to be completely dry. Also, another method you can do is using a spray bottle, applying water on the spray bottle and a little bit of baby shampoo, and just spray it on your microfiber towel, and just use the microfiber towel to clean off the contamination that the panel may have. But again, just make sure that everything is completely dry. That way the film tacks down better to the panel. Okay, so once you finish prepping the panels, now we can start with the installation. With this one, just follow the design of the pre-cut film and align it to this edge here. So the only thing with the Rav4, it does have that extends to more inside of the rubber gasket here. So make sure you give yourself a little bit of more material. That way you're able to tuck in the film and cover the chrome on the inside. Once you give yourself in the material and you see that you're covering the inside of the chrome, then you can start with the installation. So it should be like this. And then just once it's aligned, use the bottom half of the panel as a guide in order to tack down the film. So just follow the design. And if you give yourself a little bit of material, that's fine, because you could either trim it off or tuck in the film inside underneath the gasket here. So you have different options to going about the installation. So just align it and tack it down. Once it's placed and tacked down, just make sure nothing is creased, and if it is, just lift it and put it to the correct position. Now you can grab your squeegee and start tacking down the whole entire film. This excess material will just go inside the panel here. And remember to give yourself a little bit of material to cover the inside here if you want coverage here. If not, then the pillar will hide it. But just in case, if you do want coverage, just having the material. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, you can also, another method, if you don't want to trim off the extra material, you could tuck in the film inside the gasket here. Just be very careful not to accidentally rip the gasket, and it should hide perfectly inside. It should tuck in with no issues. And just to secure it, we need to apply a little bit of heat just so the film tacks down to the curve. So tuck inside as much as you can. So as you can see, it looks good. And now add heat to help it tack down better. Okay, and now we just need to make sure we tuck in everything here, and whatever is still excess, we will trim off. And then after you finish trimming off the excess, we apply heat once again just to secure any film that's still lifting after we trim. And then once we're done, we can move on with the next panel. So just start trimming off any excess material that you don't need. So with this one, there is a small gap between the panel and the gasket. That's where you would insert the blade, and just be careful. You don't want to cut too deep where you accidentally cut the rubber. You just want to put enough of the blade, so maybe just a tip, in order to trim off the excess material. And all that section you trimmed off, we could peel it off and then just continue with the rest. Remember to make sure you're covering the whole panel. And it does full coverage if you want to cover the inside as well. And then this, you could move this piece just a little bit in order to trim inside, but just be careful not to accidentally pull too much. So as you can see, I could lift it just a little bit where I could fit the blade, and I'm able to trim. So just pull just a little bit, not too much, and I'm able to trim off the excess material. And that's it. And now we apply heat on the areas that are still lifting, and then after that, we trim off the excess material. So grab your heat gun and start applying heat to tack and seal the film down. And now we move on to the rear door. Same thing, start from one end, align it, tack it down, squeegee. If you want to tuck in the film underneath, you can, or just trim it off, and then tuck in inside, trim, and then heat, and you're done, and you move on with the last piece here. So for this last piece here, the last thing you need to do is just align it to this curve here and just make sure everything falls into place to align it here. So give yourself just a little bit of excess material to cover the curve and then just align it as you go, and then it should stick like that. And now just to help it tack down, we're going to apply a little bit of heat, and after remove any excess material that is still remaining. Once we're done adding heat, we'll trim and then add heat one more time. So add heat to help it tack down. Just tack it to the curve, make sure it's secure underneath and on top. And now trim off excess material. And if you have some on top, you can trim it off as well. Just be careful not to trim too hard. And then apply heat one more time just to seal anything that's still lifting. And then you're done with the installation. So the last thing to do once you finish with the whole installation is post heating. That way we help the adhesive on the film activate more faster and just helping any edge that's still lifting to tack down. And then once you're done post heating the whole entire panel, you're done with the installation. So just grab your heat gun, applying heat all over the panel. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete for the 2022 Toyota Rav4. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on that notification bell, that way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.